It's the show that's moving fast. It's called the Captain and the Real Deal podcast with our brother Top Gun, our flight engineer. We're talking Vikings and Hawks, man, the tip of the spear, because we float past clowns with the greatest of ease. They just buckle down to their knees with the grip of a pit bull locked on the mic. We'll be tearing it up night after night. I'm Captain Luke, an operator. I could never be a faker, and I'm serving you lyrics better than a damn waiter. Rhyming on this microphone, and I just never am alone with Big Gold and Top Gun. You know we full grown. Can you hear my tone? I'm in the podcast zone, giving you a taste of my microphone. The homie by my side, he will make you glide. So Big Gold, slice and dice and bring this party inside. Cut it up, B Gold. We get the call with the ball and we're ready to maul. There's no competition, we will never fall. Ball could be in the air or for that 9 route. I shake and bake at the line of scrimmage and I'm out. And off to the house with 6 more for the squad, generating the speed of a NASCAR hot rod. On arrival, the 12s go mad. The opposition got the Emerald Nation is glad. So brace yourself for the show that's the most. While B Gold is spinning, I'm one of your hosts. We also got the Real Deal who makes his cameo with unfiltered thoughts that'll jam you, bro. And our technician, aka Top Gun, he'll test his skills for fun, and he's never on the run. I'm Captain Fook, unfadable, just like the Real Deal. The bigger the headache, the bigger the pill. That's a shout out to the homie George Clinton, the masters of the funk, yo. That's my opinion. So in 2022, and it's season 2, Captain Fook and the Real Deal are ready for you. If you're ready for us, there's no time to discuss. It's about that action, y'all. So get your butt on the bus, because the Captain and the Real Deal are ready to go. And if you are too, then let's start the show, because it's the Captain and the Real Deal podcast. What's it called? It's called the Captain and the Real Deal podcast. All right, then let's start the show.
Soldiers, 12s, and all you football fanatics. Welcome to another episode of the Captain and the Real Deal podcast. On today's episode, them guys will bring you all the latest news and information for their respective teams, the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Damen und Herren, it's time for the podcast featuring Captain Fook and Billy Gold, aka The Real Deal. This is the only place that's talking Hawks and Kings, but to be specific, we're talking Seattle Seahawks and Minnesota Vikings. So strap up. We're taking you on a fantastic voyage, unlike any you've ever been on, so sit back and get ready to set sail to the emerald-rich lands of the Seattle Seahawks and the treasure-filled valleys of the Minnesota Vikings, with your hosts, Captain Fook and Billy Gold, aka The Real Deal. Let's get it.
Scolders. And we got a new Scolder. We'll talk about that later. and the 12s. Welcome to the Week 8 recap episode of the Captain and Real Deal podcast. I'm Billy Gold, along with my co-host, Captain Book.
Emerald up.
And the Maverick, our production engineer, Mike Top Gun Cruz. We have another great episode, Cap,
Brace yourselves.
in store for you today as we're going to recap the Week 8 matchups for our teams and then preview what's going to come up in Week 9. As always, I suggest you fill up. I like the yellow Solo Cup. Sit back and get ready to keep on keeping on as we take you on another fantastic voyage.
Yes, we do.
Hey, Cap, are you ready to roll?
Captain.
My brother, you like that? We're coming out the gate correct this time?
We hit it.
Absolutely. You know I'm ready. The Emerald Justice League suited up once again to take on a league of giants that hailed from the East Coast. New York, to be specific. It was a heavyweight battle not to be missed. Who was left standing? Who earned respect? Will they meet again? Let's find out this week with this week's recap. Don't miss it.
So, if the audience can't tell, the Seahawks won this week.
Hey, we're going to chat it up.
Let's get right to it. Start today with the recap of our teams. Let's get to the Vikings recap. The Cardinals win the toss, and like most teams nowadays,
Woo, let's go.
They defer. Vikings start at the 25-yard line after a touchback, start with a couple of runs, and then a big play from midfield. Cousins 25 yards to Jefferson. Cousins does the rest himself, a 17-yard TD run, 10 plays, 75 yards, 7 runs and 3 passes, 7-0 Vikes.
That's quick, real quick.
Real quick. Cardinals start at their 25-yard line after a touchback, and they move into Vikings territory. Cornerback Pat Pete makes a nice play on a third down, and the Cardinals settle for a 44-yard field goal, 7-3 Vikes.
Feeling good?
Yeah, Vikings, after another touchback, started their 25-yard line. A big 29-yard run by Dalvin Cook, but Vikings center Garrett Bradbury, gets a taunting penalty, standing over the runner after the play at the end of the play.
How'd that make you feel?
What are you doing? The Vikings go for it on 4th and 1 and do not get it. So Bradbury, you're not getting a player of the week, dude. Cardinals started the 38-yard line and move in the Vikings territory, but linebacker, our free agent acquisition of the year, Zadarius Smith, gets a sack on 3rd down. It's the end of the first quarter.
Gotta like it.
Start of the second quarter. Cardinals punt. Vikings have to start at their 17-yard line. Dalvin Cook, 19-yard run to start the drive, and then follows it up with an 11-yard run. Couple of passes to Thielen, gets the Vikings to the Cardinals' 27-yard line. Alexander Madison stepping in for Cook on this drive, then gains 15 yards on the ground. Cousins finishes off the drive with a 2-yard TD pass to tight end Johnny Fun Mund. 14-3.
Nice.
Vikes.
Nice.
Cardinals, after another touchback, nobody runs kickbacks anymore. Started the 25-yard line. Linebacker Zadarius Smith, I got to get a nickname for him, gets another sack. Zadarius, the sack master Smith. And the Cardinals are forced to punt. There's a penalty on the punt,
Uh-oh.
which pushes the Viking back to their 4-yard line. Ouch. Vikings get 1 first down and then are forced to punt. Cousins missed a wide open Osborne on 3rd and 4. Cardinals get the ball back, starting their 28-yard line and moving the Vikings territory. They finish off the drive with a one-handed, spectacular highlight reel catch by DeAndre Hopkins for a TD, and they cut the lead to 14-10. See, I give the props.
I think I had to text you during that catch.
It was
that
a great catch.
Legit. Oh, no, and I texted a dude in Arizona that I know, too. I was like, that was off the hook.
Off the hook. Vikings, after another touchback, started the 25-yard line and get to the Cardinals' 38-yard line. Greg the Leg Joseph comes in, and he's ready for a 56-yard field goal. The kick is blocked. It's blocked. The kick was so low, it hit a Cardinals defender in the face mask. Hit him in the face mask. That's halftime, 14-10. Dude, come on. Get the ball up in the air. All right, second half. Cardinals get the second half kickoff. They start at the 25-yard line after yet another touchback. They got to change the rule. I like runbacks. I like those.
They move the ball up. 5 yards makes a huge difference.
Yeah, that's how Cordarrelle Patterson, made his name when he first came into the league. All right, Cardinals, 2 offensive holding calls, and the Cardinals are forced to punt. Vikings get the ball back at their 25-yard line. Cousins gets sacked, and the Vikings go 3 and out. Punt. All right. 14-10. Cardinals start at their 48-yard line. They drive down the field and score a TD.
Uh-oh.
Cornerback Cameron Dancer missed a key tackle on the score. I think he was trying to punch the ball out. We are now down 17-14. We were up 14-3. We were rocking and rolling, and we let them back in the game.
It's tough. You got to overcome it.
Next drive, Vikings again start at the 25-yard line after a touchback. On third down, JJ makes an incredible Mr. Dynamite catch to get down to the Cardinals' 30-yard line. Madison finishes off the drive with a 7-yard TD run, 21-17. Vikes!
Really nice run, too, by the way. That was a really good drive.
Cardinals, they get on the kickoff, they get flagged on the return, and they start at their 9-yard line. What happens next? The pass rush comes alive. Puts the pressure on Murray, and there's an interception by Harrison. Big Game Smith. The nice pass rush really helped us. So the Vikings takes over on the Cardinals' 31-yard line, and Cook finishes the drive off with a 4-yard TD run with the offensive line and pushing him into the end zone.
Is it too early to talk about Dalvin Cook? Because, I mean...
yeah,
should I wait?
This was his best game of the year.
He was on fire.
Best game of the year.
He was on fire.
28-17 Vikings. Again, we gave up the lead and we just pushed to an 11-point cushion. We are good to go. Good to go. I'm going to get me an ice cream and just hang out and watch us coast to a victory.
Easy come, easy go.
Cardinals, hey, it's not a touchback. Actually, it is a touchback. There's a 5-yard penalty, and they start at their 30-yard line. Wide receiver Rondell, make me miss more, had 2 receptions where he would not be tackled, and he scores from 38 yards out. The Cardinals then go for 2, but they do not get it. So it's 28-23 Vikes.
You feeling good right now? I mean,
I like stopping at 2.
Okay.
I didn't feel threatened in this game. I really did not. I did not.
That happens.
Vikings again started the 25-yard line. Cousins, he's poised. We got to extend this lead. He's sacked, and he fumbles. How do you fumble? Hang on to the ball, Kurt. Cardinals recover and take over on the Vikings' 24-yard line. Whew. End of the third quarter. Let's get to the fourth quarter. The Vikings defense, the shell umbrella. I learned umbrella this week. The shell umbrella coverage. They might actually be. It might actually be starting. Maybe I just needed to give it some time. They hold the Cardinals to a field goal. It's 28-26.
Tight game
In the fourth quarter. Vikings started the 25-yard line, and they have to answer. 3 and out. Punt. But mighty hero Ryan Wright puts a mighty hero spin on the ball.
Let's go.
And it's muffed. And the Vikings recover at the Cardinals' 27-yard line.
Was that timely or what?
It was timely.
You needed that
The
bad.
mighty hero. That's what mighty heroes do.
That's exactly right.
Vikings capitalize and score on a 6-yard TD pass from Cousins to KJ
Osborne.
Who was the rock star?
Ozzy.
Yeah, I was gonna say KJ Ozzy Osbourne. That's gonna be his new nickname.
Animal.
All right, so we get the touchdown, and Joseph misses the extra point. This guy cannot continue to be our kicker. You kick a field goal into a guy's helmet. You miss an extra point. I could kick those extra points. It's 34-26. So instead of being 9 points in a 2-score game, it's 8 points. So
1-score game now.
Yeah, it's a 1-score game.
Double up on the PAT. Not what you need.
Exactly. So yeah, now all of a sudden Wilson's coming in. He's saying, "Chill out, chill out. The defense has got this. We're learning the shell umbrella coverage. We're gonna be okay.
You're learning to trust the
Yeah,
shell.
we're learning to trust the shell."
Took how many weeks? 8, 9 weeks? Where we at?
Exactly. After the bye week, there was somebody always getting some therapy.
Yes.
Cardinals started their 20-yard line. They move into Vikings territory, but Kyler Murray, he's picked off again by safety Cameron Bynum. And he turns it to the Vikings 36-yard line. And now it's time to run the clock out.
And seal the deal.
Take some time off. Cousins is sacked, and the Vikings go 3-and-out. However, they did exhaust all 3 timeouts. We did have to punt. But again, in the NFL, you don't need a lot of time. There was like a minute when we punted.
That's a lot.
But you don't need a lot. No timeout, so kind of makes it a little tricky. If you throw in the middle, sideline pass is usually taken away. Cardinals started their 19-yard line, so again, mighty hero, Mr. Wright.
Yep, 81 yards away.
Did what he needed to do. Cardinals were stopped on downs at the Vikings 40-yard line. They went for it on 4th down, and Jordan Hicks, the former Cardinal, made a spectacular play to hold him a half a yard short.
That sounds like a little redemption.
A little redemption.
Oh, my goodness.
So the Vikings get the ball there. Now all they need to do
It's not turn it over
is
again.
not turn it over. So I misspoke on the previous drive. There were no timeouts taken by the Cardinals. This is where they took the 3 timeouts. So we did 3 in a row, and we had to punt the ball again. And again, Mr. Mighty Ryan Wright makes the Cardinals start at their 13-yard line. This dude is money. He's an undrafted free agent. He looks like the fridge. And
Getting it done.
he's getting it done.
Looks don't mean much.
Exactly. So, the Cardinals started their 13-yard line and are driving, but the Vikings defense steps up again on their side of the field and sacks Murray not once, but twice to end the game 34-26. Vikings are now standing at 6-1.
Wow.
Yeah. Let me give
Wow.
Let me give you some final thoughts. And by the way, when we talk about the media later, I'm all amped up, and I gotta deal with this nonsense later. But we'll talk about that later. Final thoughts. I never felt like we were going to lose this game, but Greg Joseph continuing to miss field goals and extra points has to be addressed. If he makes the extra point, the Cardinals' final drive is meaningless. Game balls. Linebacker Zadarius Smith, he's a dominant force. 7 tackles with 4 of those tackles for a loss, 3 QB hits, and 3 sacks. The Vikings defense, the front was extremely physical. They limited Arizona's rushing attack to 78 yards, just 3.5 yards per carry. Linebacker Jordan Hicks made a big play like I spoke about on the 4th down tackle to turn the Cardinals over on downs. Pat Pete broke up, former Cardinal as well, broke up 3 passes against his former team. Overall, the defense had 4 sacks, 8 tackles for a loss, 2 interceptions, and a fumble recovery. And finally, the coach, Kevin O'Connell, the first rookie Viking head coach in the history of the franchise to start 6-1.
You had a good time. It was a good day.
I had a good day. You know what?
The usual roller coaster ride, though.
There are plays where I can't sit. I have to stand up, and I'm off to the side, and my family's looking at me going, "He was sitting on. What the heck's going on?" I can't sit down for some of these plays. But let's get to the exciting Seattle Seahawks recap.
Well, just before we go, first of all, Dalvin Cook set the tone. I thought right out the gate there was nothing that I don't think Arizona could do to deal with him. And I think your coaches saw that right out the gate. So he gets his chunk plays, and then you start sneaking in Thielen. You start sneaking in even Madison. That TV
I had a
was off the hook.
feeling.
But
Time to go
your
to
punter,
Thielen.
I'm going to be listening real closely when you do your game balls.
Yes.
If he doesn't get one, we're going to have to chat.
You know what? As we reflect on this,
Because we do reflect. We're very sensitive individuals.
he should have had a mini game ball.
A mini game ball. He can't get a full one?
Well,
Why do you hate your punter?
no, he's. Are you kidding me? He's on the all-time roster.
Why would he have to get disrespected and get such a small football?
It's a mini game ball. It's still a game
He can't
ball.
get a full game ball?
He didn't score, did he?
He kept y'all from getting
He did.
scored
No,
on,
no.
though.
He's,
I like him.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that he doesn't look like the traditional punter.
No, he does not.
He looks like he just ate
Yeah.
6 or 7 sandwiches
Exactly.
and it's like, yo, do you want me to kick? Let's
It
go.
looks like he kicked the people cup out of line, eat their subs. What do you got for the cat? What do you got for the Hawks?
Well, as we spoke about it last week, the Emerald Justice League was called to task to go down to LA, take care of business. They did that. They had to go back to the Emerald Nation to defend against an Eastern Gigantor crew. So led into battle again by the unassuming millionaire Geno Smith, a.k.a. the Emerald Lantern. He and his fellow superheroes set up to defend Lumen Stadium. What followed was possibly the best game, and if not the best game, the most physical game of the week. So let's go. Who flipped the coin? Don't know, but it wasn't Harvey Dent this time, but we lost it. The Giants won it. They decided to defer. So they do that. They kick the ball off to my guy, D. Eskridge, who brings it to our 29-yard line with a nice pickup to start the drive. But after the tackle, D. Eskridge, who's 5'9", 190 pounds, gets up after the play. He gets pushed by 2 Giants. One of them gets up in his face, number 23, Gary Brightwell. I see you, 6'1", 218. Flexes right in DK's face, in D. Eskridge's face. And then this huge dude named Ellerson Smith, 6'7", 245, straight up pushes Eskridge after the play. So clearly he's the smallest guy in this little 3-way equation. What does Eskridge do? Does he turn tail and run home? No. He shoulders the biggest guy there. The refs still don't call it. So we know how this day is about to go. It's about to go down. And that's exactly what happened. So I'm going to move through the first quarter kind of fast because there were no points scored in the first quarter, but there was some good stuff. We're already at the 13:44 second mark in the first quarter, and it's 1st and 10. And after a really nice 9-yard catch by DK Metcalf, who wasn't even supposed to play, it was questionable because of the patella injury he had last week. He shows up. Geno Smith, with his Emerald Lantern lit brightly, makes the catch. So we get to 3rd and 1. Geno walks up to the line of scrimmage and looks at the defense and starts to scan, and then he sees something. He starts barking out instructions to his offensive line, and right when he's barking instructions, it's a Decepticon play. The center snaps the rock to who else but the K9 on a little misdirection. Picks up the first down, moves the sticks. A little bit of confusion, but it was actually pretty cool because Shane Waldron was like, I saw what you did at the beginning of the game, New York, and I saw that the refs didn't call it, so we're going to throw y'all a little something early to keep you thinking. So, that's what we do on occasion. Coaches flex too when the players get flexed on. So I want to touch on the defensive backs for the New York Giants, and this is a theme that we saw all the way through the game. I got to give Adoree Jackson some props. This dude is legit. And number 37, Moreau, I don't even know his first name. Those corners were dialed in on our excellent, fantastic, amazing superhero wide receivers.
Consistent.
We'll talk about that. I said the most polished receiver. I know you coming at my guy Tyler. Tyler, we got you, bro. No. It's all good. So anyway, we're forced to punt, and we get the Giants. When we get them with their ball into a 3rd and 4 with 12 minutes and 8 seconds left. I got to go back just a second. And Ryan Neal makes an amazing tackle on Marcus Johnson, just short of a first down that forces them to this decision-making period where do they punt or not? Brian DeBall, their coach, he does not call Dan Campbell, the head coach of the Detroit Lions. He doesn't need advice. He knows the punt. He knows what kind of game this is going to be. So he punches it. 11 minutes and 17 seconds left. Both teams are throwing jabs at each other, be gold. Our tight ends, wide receivers, running backs are all involved. Geno's looking a bit high risk to me, though. He's throwing some darts. Almost had 2 picks in both first and second drive. I was like, Geno, ease back, bro. I know you played for New York, and you know what the New York media did to you.
He wanted it.
But you ain't in New York.
No, he wanted it.
You riding with us now. So slow down, take some air, and let's keep on going. So we get to 8:52 left, chew a little clock, and then number 80, Richie James, has a really nice punt return for them. It's about 40 yards, but they had an unnecessary roughness call. Number 27 on their team did a blindside block that called that play back, and they had to start that drive on their 20-yard line. Now, by this time, we're putting really good pressure on Danny Jones, and I'm sensing that things are going to break at some point, but it's not happening. The Giants are fighting as hard as you can believe. Bruce Irvin, he's the only guy on our squad from our original Super Bowl team from the last Super Bowl ring, and the only one that we've won. I said it. We're trying to get another one just like everybody else. He is having an impact that may not even show up on stat sheets, but he's rattling people. And that's all we need. Now, I'm going to push through to the second quarter. All right. Like I said, it was 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. 12 minutes and 7 seconds left in the second quarter. DK Metcalf gets a 3-yard pass from Geno Smith. He's right in the middle of the end zone. Touchdown. He doesn't have to do anything after he catches the rock other than figure out where the ref is at and let's reset.
Did he hand him the ball?
Not exactly, but
Okay.
kind of. So after that, 5 minutes and 51 seconds left.
Act like you've been there before.
Exactly. That's exactly what he did.
Me and you both agree on that.
That's what he did. So 5 minutes and 51 seconds left in the second quarter. The Giants, after a 2-play, 2-yard drive, you might be asking, how'd that happen, Captain Vuk?
How'd that happen, Captain Vuk?
And I say, you know what? We had a turnover that I didn't want to talk about, but I have to. Tyler Lockett,
Mr. Dependable.
he is very dependable.
Mr. Dependable.
He gets the punt return.
Wait, you've called him Mr. Dependable.
He's been.
Which
he's
means he
very
makes
dependable.
no mistakes.
No, that just means he's a human being. If you make a mistake, that's all good.
Well, no. If you look up the category of superheroes, Mr. Dependable doesn't make mistakes.
That's not his nickname in the Hero League though.
It is in our.
It's Rocket Lockett. So anyway, he gets the ball, he fumbles the ball, and we lose it. Hence, the Giants get to start on the 2-yard line. It ain't like Saquon was dominating us, but you get that man in the red zone, it's going to be real hard to stop him. So next thing you know, you blink and it's 7-7. So let's move on. We're still in the second quarter. We get a 4-play, 2-yard drive, and we get a touchdown. No, we don't. I'm sorry. We get a field goal. It's your guy, Jason Myers. So we go into halftime 10-3.
Oh, wait, you had a 4-play, 2-yard drive. Where'd you get the ball at?
You had two. What yard line was it on?
So if they score, would
35.
They kick?
Yes.
So would they kick it up? You get a drive and got that 35.
We didn't make it happen.
All right.
But you can see where this game is going. It's 7-3. It's a freaking dog fight. Excuse me, 10-3, 10-7. Sorry, it's a dog fight, and everybody in the stands knows it. So Geno at halftime, before he goes in, he turns his lantern up a little bit brighter. All of the 12s show up. The ones that were out there at the concession stand using the bathroom. Everybody, get in here. We need you. So we kick off the rock. Second half.
How's it going to help you guys on the road?
We show up.
You can't
the
turn
12s take over
You
stadiums,
can't turn the
baby.
lantern up on the road.
Yes, we can. I'll show you how we do it.
Not at Minnesota, you wouldn't.
If y'all
Not
buy
at
out-
Buffalo.
If you guys are winning. It's
Not at
harder.
Kansas City. It's going to be a sea of red, a sea of blue, a sea of purple.
if the home
You're
team
going
is
into
winning-
these stadiums with the people
Hey,
don't care.
Check it out.
Exactly.
If the home
Right.
team is winning, because we will try to buy up them tickets and show up. But if the
don't
home
disagree.
team is winning and then all their fans show up, then it makes it harder.
They actually
but it
called
also makes it more sweet.
When the Vikings played the Dolphins, they actually called it Purple South. There was so many Viking fans in it. So
That's
yeah,
what
I do,
happens.
but not against the. Let me say it's not against the real teams.
I've been in my own stadium,
Yes.
but when it was called the Clink, when we played Pittsburgh with Jerome Bettis and them guys,
Was that Colonel Klink?
there were so many terrible towels in there. I was extremely upset, and there was nothing I could do about it. I'm like, how does this happen? But anyway, let's push through the third quarter. The second half begins. Field goal is the end of the drive. How the Giants end their drive. It's a 14-play, 79-yard drive. 8 minutes and 56 seconds elapsed. They're not playing. They're letting everybody know we're here to stay. It's knotted up. 10-10. Will the Seahawks and the Emerald Justice League waver? Will the Gigantor Nation continue to battle? Answers to those questions right now.
Should you win at home?
So 2 minutes and 42 seconds left still in the third quarter. We have to settle for a field goal after a 7-play, 42-yard drive with your guy, Jason Myers, coming in and nailing it.
Yep.
Get the points.
Yep. He said I got to beat the Monsterizers. But,
Gotta get it done.
But we'll talk that you
Yes,
got
we
you
will.
got that
A
challenge.
lot of people
You got-
say that. A lot of people say that. So it's 13-10. Going into the money quarter. This is where all the marbles go down. All of them. How do we start this quarter out, B Gold?
I don't know.
We're up 13-10. New York is game, bro. They ain't going nowhere. They do a 12-play, 43-yard drive. Now, big difference. Cut the yard production in about half because the defense is balling. But it ends with
Their
a
defense?
field goal. Our defense. And theirs was balling, too.
Okay.
Not quite like ours, though.
Never. That could never
But
happen.
they were balling,
that
though,
could
and I
never
gave
happen.
them their props.
No defense can ball like your
It
defense.
happened.
Never. Doesn't happen.
First 2 or 3 weeks of the season, my defense wasn't even
There's
on
no
the field.
defense can ever ball like your defense.
Y'all heard it from B Gold, baby. So anyway, after this 12-play drive, 45 yards, it ends in a Graham Gano 45-yard field goal.
Graham Cracker.
So
right
now the
Right.
score is 13-13. Fourth quarter. Everything's on the line. The stability of the West Coast has been mentioned. They already rocking the East Coast. How will we follow up? Let's find out together.
Yeah, let's do that.
Tyler Lockett, by this time, had already lost the fumble and missed the ball that went right in his hands, Top Gun.
Was that
for
the-
what
was
would
that-
be a routine, easy touchdown for him?
Exactly. Drop TD pass.
But as I mentioned before, he's a human being, and sometimes we make mistakes, right?
The Mighty
The
Heroes.
question is-
Mighty Heroes, Mr. Dependable does not make mistakes.
The question is, how do you respond? Let's find out. And I should mention,
You
when he,
respond by turning in your Mighty Hero outfit.
listen, when he made the mistakes, first person to go over and talk to him was who?
Probably Carol.
That's how we ride.
Yeah.
You know, DK didn't even have to go over there because he's like, I already know Tyler. He about to make 30 plays after
DK
this.
could barely walk. He played the
Gino
game.
was the first guy to go over and see him, though. And then Pete came over after that. So here we go.
knocking his computer over.
9 minutes. Yep, if I have to, I
Got him
will.
on fire.
9 minutes and 36 seconds left, roughly, or 18 seconds left. We have a 5-play, 75-yard drive that's capped with a Tyler Lockett 33-yard touchdown pass from Geno Smith, a.k.a. the Emerald Lantern, also known as that man, to Tyler Lockett, a.k.a. Rocket, because he's still on the squad. He's family. We know he can come through. So he chucks the rock, takes us up 20-13. But you know what I'm about to tell you.
That you're the one that made up the name Mr. Dependable?
No.
Okay, because
I'm
I
about
have
to
that.
tell you
I got that on tape.
that the game is not over. It's still within reach by the Giants, and we're not done, Top Gun. So how do we finish this off?
Defense.
5 minutes and 22 seconds left. Oh, yeah, our defense was lights out. Honestly, it was lights out. They were balling.
They are every week.
But we put the final nail in the coffin with this game by handing the ball off to Mr. Kenneth Walker III, a.k.a. K9, for a really nice 16-yard touchdown run. Takes us up with the extra point, successful, to 27-13. Officially seals the deal. Seahawks win, baby.
Yeah.
Go
Hawks.
Emerald Nation.
Great win. A lot of good stuff.
Tons.
Took care of home turf.
We did.
That's what you got to do.
We had 3 penalties. They had 6.
6. That's our number one fan's favorite number.
That's good.
He
You
likes
multiply
it.
that baby by 2, and you got a 12.
All right. So what do you got? The only Seahawks recap I have. I already went through it, so we'll leave it alone. Let's go to tip of the cap from the cap.
All right, let me give you my tip of the cap as soon as I locate my tip of the cap.
All right, so we'll talk about the Seahawks recap that I had.
Okay.
Because now that you're stumbling, bubbling, fumbling,
I moved my papers.
I would have never came up with the name Mr. Dependable. So when you said that, I just had we're just goofing around.
Oh, yeah, Tyler's very
fumbling to
dependable.
drop TD pass. You've called him Mr. Dependable. If he's a mighty hero, you can't be
I
fumbling.
say he's the most
stumbling.
polished receiver in the NFL.
But I would never
stand
put
by
Mr.
that all
Dependable
day.
in there if you did not say that.
That's cool. If I said it, he's
You own
very
it.
dependable.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it. If I
Well.
said it, I own it.
No, exactly. Not last week. Fumble and drop a TD pass.
That's all right. Got a touchdown. Helped us seal the deal. That means he was still in
Yeah,
it.
no, you won.
Still in it,
That's the
baby.
bottom line.
Staying in the game.
All right, you going to tip your cap?
All right, my tip of the cap goes to my guy, Ryan Neal, safety, stepping in for Jamal Adams, putting in work. He had 6 total tackles, 6 of them all solo. He had 2 tackles for loss that were huge moments of the game. I mentioned one of them already in the recap. And his coverage was fantastic, and so was his tackling. We had a lot of guys on defense that could be cap tipped, but I got to give it to him because he's just coming in, over like 6-7 games into the season where he's starting to get into his groove, holding down the back end. I mean, Diggs could have gotten this. The defensive line, all of them, It's just a great team effort. The defense was balling. Come at me.
Any member of the Seahawks could have got it. They get it every week.
Not any member, but this guy stood out.
They all did their jobs. They held the line. You got the victory. We could go 1 through 27. Everybody's getting it.
Any position in the NFL is difficult, but playing safety at a high level and not getting burned regularly from a guy that a lot of people in the country don't know who Ryan Neal is, but we know who he is, and so do these people that are scouting him.
And who's your long snapper?
Oh, that guy's name is Carson Tinker, I think it is. Yeah, we had a different dude, and he's not on the roster anymore. But yeah, this guy's Carson Tinker. He ain't making mistakes, so I didn't lock in on him. Who's your long snapper?
Andrew DiPiola.
Where's he from? No, who cares?
He's from Rutgers.
Okay, I don't know where this guy's from.
He's from Alabama.
He's from Bama?
Yes.
Okay.
I got it.
I appreciate it because I would not have researched that much on him. But I appreciate him not making mistakes. Our special teams held up this week. Good.
Let's get to the Bam Bam moment of the week for the Seahawks. And I have one for the just do yours. You know why? We love the Seahawks. We got it. We got to hear about Bam Bam.
I'm finally hearing some we's in here, some plural.
We love the Seahawks.
Plurality. It's not just me by myself.
No, this is a team effort. Let's love the Seahawks.
Why not?
Let's love them.
They're lovable.
No, let's love them.
Let's go. Let's logo.
Yeah.
All right, so listen, here's my Bam Bam moment of the week. Second quarter with about 6 minutes and 47 seconds left. There's a young man, you may have heard of him. His number is 30, but he's known as Michael Jackson. Sometimes he causes thrills, and he can be known as a thriller. He hits number 88, Tanner Hudson, so hard that the seismic readers almost activated in Seattle. So Tanner Hudson, you got Bam Bam by Michael Jackson. That's all I got for that one. There was a ton of Bam Bams today, but Michael Jackson was on it.
All right.
He gets it.
So let's move on to some open items from the previous episodes. Open item number 1, which we kind of just touched on. Who is the Seattle Seahawks long snapper? He's what number does he work at?
I don't know what his number is. His name is Carson Tinker.
You are a Seahawk.
I am all day, every day.
Aficionado.
That's why I went and got his name.
You didn't get his number?
Got to rep the nation.
Number 46.
That's a good number.
Carson Tinker out of Alabama. And just as I stated, because I already knew, the Minnesota Vikings long snapper, number 42, Andrew DiPiola out of Rutgers University. Where's that skull horn?
Well done. And the harmony was right on, too.
All right. We still have to come up with a nickname for Coach Kingsbury, but we have not gotten to that yet.
No, not yet.
And you know
what's going to happen after your game, but since we play
You're playing them next week, so you have to come up with the nickname.
Yep.
Okay, let's get to the new segment, By the Numbers. Talking about number 9 this week. The Vikings that have wore the number 9, Tommy Kramer, 77-89. Jim McMahon, former from the Bears for 1 season for 93. Scott Sissone, 96. I don't know who he is. Brooks Bollinger, some kind of reserve quarterback, 2006-2007. Tristan Jackson, another, I think he was a cornerback. I don't know who he is, 21-22. And Nick Mullins, who we just got as our backup quarterback to finally get rid of that clipboard holder who thinks he looks good. Finally out of our organization. So it has to be Kramer. He was the first person in franchise history to wear the number 9. First person to wear the number 9. He was known as 2-Minute Tommy, as he engineered many comeback victories in his career. Perhaps nothing more famous than the miracle at the Met, where the Vikings marched 80 yards in 2 plays with just 14 seconds remaining against the Browns, with Kramer finding Ahmad Rashad, time running out to give the Vikings a victory. Kramer is still second to Tarkenton in Vikings history in both passing yardage and passing touchdowns. So Kramer is my number 9 Viking all time.
Well done. I love to have that horn just magically comes in for you. So we had a few players that wore the number 9 for the old Seattle Seahawks. Number 1 was a DJ Reed, a defensive back. He was with us not too long ago, and he moved on. Jake Luton, I think he was a quarterback, and I think he was from UW too, but he's not getting it. Ryan Lindell, He's from 2000, 2002. He's out. Donnie Jones was a linebacker. He's not getting it. John Ryan, he's been with us for a while, but he's not getting it either. Kenneth Walker III, he just got in. If he stays on the roster, he might be the one to trumpet. But I have to give it to Norm Johnson. Way back in the day, kicker, and he was very productive, and he's revered, and he's a legend Seahawk.
I think when we did the history, I think I picked him for your kicker.
You may have.
And I think you picked Hauska back then.
I did.
Yes. So I've been listening to a couple of the old episodes, and if you want to hear the history of our teams while they're a little raw,
just a tad bit,
you might want to go check
you
them.
may want to put your seatbelt on before
cut us a break.
Yeah, exactly.
It was our first 3 episodes ever.
Show us some love.
All right, so this takes us into the fun fact for the week. Let's get to fun fact number 1. 50 years ago, in 1972, the owners of the Colts and the Rams pulled off a trade unlike anything ever seen in professional sports before. They traded their franchises, the Colts and the Rams, and both have since relocated.
That's wild. I've never heard of such a thing.
Fun fact number 2.
I know you're going to dig this.
Of course you are, because both coaches from this last week's game, O'Connell of the Vikings and Kingsbury of the Cardinals, were backups to Tom Brady. And fun fact number 3.
I know you're going to dig this.
Pete Carroll ties his mentor, Bud Grant, with the 168th career win. And I know, Cap, we found this together, so chime in here, dude.
Hey, you just said it. I mean, Pete Carroll, we spoke about this before. He reveres Bud Grant.
Mentor.
Treats him exactly as a mentor, trusts him, and he confides in him and asks, questions about
Over the
decisions.
years, has combined him a lot.
And so, and Pete Carroll apparently doesn't like to get game balls for himself ever. He likes to make sure he gives it to his players. He gives all of his credit to his players. But John Schneider, because that's what we do over there, we take care of each other. And this was a milestone. And he presented Pete with the game ball for this amazing accomplishment. I thought it was fantastic, especially after the fact that, as we mentioned earlier, we had 3 penalties. But at the press conference, Pete Carroll said, no, the team had 2 penalties. I had 1 penalty.
So that's a great segue. It goes into, I call it a not so fun fact, but it's actually kind of a fun fact.
Hit it.
The Pete Carroll penalty. So just over 2 minutes left to go, and the Seahawks leading 27-13. Geno Smith scrambled for a big first down. It all but iced the game. But wait a minute. Pete Carroll was celebrating and leaping onto the sideline, and he got called for a sideline violation. So, Kat, what do you got to say?
I think it was hilarious because the ref, who's a veteran referee, and we love him, he's making the call, and he goes, unnecessary roughness or something like that, sideline interference on the coaching staff of the Seattle Mariners.
Yeah,
and
we said Mariners,
fell
not
out
Seahawks.
laughing because, the Mariners, they were on his mind. So there's been some funny little memes that have been put out.
Exactly. Maybe coaches.
With Scott Service.
I'm saying coach. Maybe referees both baseball and football.
Maybe.
Or his brother does whatever.
But the memes are Scott Service, the managers of the Mariners. They show his face on Pete Carroll's body, and it's Halloween, basically. So he's on the sideline moving around. And then afterwards, they show Pete Carroll take it off, and it's Pete Carroll's mask underneath. Pretty funny.
Exactly.
All good humor.
Let's move on to the ridiculous article of the week.
I love this.
The national media are stating that the Vikings are the worst 6-1 team they can remember.
Oh gosh, please.
You are what your record says you are. We're 6-1. Deal with it.
Let me know if I can help you out with this, because we are seasoned at that this year. This year in particular. What did they say about the Seahawks when this season started, bro? It's all talk.
Here's the thing.
Go.
You guys are up next because I've seen they're getting us now, but you're on the cusp of right behind us.
You mean as far as being the focal point of the media and trying to shut us down?
saying you're
bring it.
not.
Don't care. We're not who we think we are.
Pretenders.
Yeah, I wish they could get on the field and say that stuff. But we know that's not going to happen.
I wish they could come to the 4-7-9.
They can't handle it. But yeah, they say everything that they say, and at the end of the day, what matters is what goes on inside the locker room and behind those walls with those people.
Hawks and Kings are coming. They're coming for the media. The Hawks and the Kings. We're coming for the media. We're coming for you. Pay attention.
Listen, the Hawks are coming for the Cardinals. That's where we're going. That's our next game.
Paying attention.
And we're coming for them. I ain't worried about the media. Never have, never will.
All right. It's time to take it to the house.
It's the undeniable and most reliable segment of the show. It's time to take it to the house. What Viking gets the nod? Does a Seahawk make it in? It takes a win and a house call to qualify. Be gold. Let's hear it.
Welcome to the 479, the home of the rhythm and the rhyme.
You hit the post, dude.
We'll never bow down to the other shows. The 479 is the one that knows. Not followers. We are leaders, exceeders, sharp as cleavers. As Snap would say, don't believe the hype. Ours is the show that's the prototype. The 479 is for sure legit. Can I get a witness? We make the picks during the show, making you the money, as you know. Helping you pick your fantasy squad. Back in the day it was Ahmad Rashad. Lynch, Largent, Target, and Moss. With them in our lineup, there was no loss. HOUSE, 479 is where we be. The deal, the booth, and the gun. Sharing our knowledge, having some fun. Thanks for hanging and joining our flow. Week to week, another new show. House music will take us out. It's old school, there is no doubt. House music.
All right, let me set the play up for taking it to the house. It's 3rd down and 4 from the Cardinals' 17-yard line. There's 10 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first quarter. Cousins is in the shotgun. There's an empty backfield with Cook and Jefferson wide left, Thielen, Smith Jr., and Osborne out to the right. Here's the snap. Cousins looks to the middle of the field, steps up in the pocket. Cousins takes off to the right, outruns 2 defenders. He's got it. First down. Looks like he's got it. He's going to score. Chance to score. He scores. He's in. The Vikings touchdown. Cousins. Vikings take the lead.
Tied at 13 in the fourth quarter with 9 minutes and 18 seconds left. Geno Smith takes the drop back pass. He looks to the right. He sees something he likes. Oh, he does a pump fake, and then he throws a bag of groceries for 33 yards to Tyler and tells him, Tyler, take it to the house. People gotta eat, bro. Tyler gets it to the house. Seahawks take the lead 20-13 after the PAT. And it's on and popping in the house segment.
All right, we got some breaking news.
Uh-oh. Stand by.
Not this week, but like 5 minutes before the show started. The Vikings have pulled off a trade to bring TJ Hawkinson, the tight end from the Detroit Lions, a former number 8 first-round pick, to our squad. Yes, Irv Smith Jr. just left last week with an injury. It looks like it's 8 to 10 weeks for a high ankle sprain. But you know what? I would have made the trade anyway, Cap, right?
We know him very well.
Right. I mean,
he went for record numbers against us.
He's a beast. Now, is he a top 3 tight end? Questionable. Is he a top five tight end? Absolutely.
He's a baller, man. You guys got one there. I don't know what you gave up to get him.
We gave up. We traded a second and a fourth for a fourth and a fourth.
How do you stand for other draft picks for next year? You still good?
Yeah, we're still good. So we traded a second for a fourth and then a fourth for a fourth. Different years, 23, 24.
This guy's playing like all pro right now. Right. So
and he fit under the salary cap, so we don't have to make any. We don't have to have anybody restructure their contracts. And this guy is he's a difference maker,
game changer, no doubt.
I was watching a podcast on the way home, one of the ESPN podcasts, and they were like, the Detroit Lions only had 5 core players. This was one of those guys. Why are they getting rid of him?
They got rid of Quandre Diggs
Yes, exactly. So
when he was like, to me, one of the top 3 or 4 safeties in the league. And we got him for like a 5th round pick or something crazy like that. So
I'm liking this deal. I'm liking TJ. Welcome to the Vikings. Your new Scolger.
Beat the deadline too. Well done.
We'll try and get some kind of nickname for you. It's not Top Gun because it's TJ, but we'll come up with something for you. Plus, some Top Gun already owns that, so we can't take that one away. Anyway, no real deal rant of the week. We won. Actually, I really could have went off on Greg Joseph. But I was hoping I held off on it, hoping that we somehow got Daniel Carlson, but from the Raiders back to our organization. But he makes $4 million a year, which is pretty tough. Outside the box with the real deal. Let's get to that. The Vikings, they're running away with the NFC North at 6-1. The Vikings are blowing away the competition in the NFC North. The Packers are 3-4,
Nice.
4 games back in the loss column after losing to the Bills because we beat them. The Bears got pounded by the Cowpokes, and the Lions blew a lead at home. They didn't score in the second half and lost to the Dolphins, the Fishmen, 31-27. These are the standings currently in the North entering Week 9. Vikings 6.
don't say that. You can't leave it on
one
3,
more.
6.
And 6. Our number one top fan. No, he would say differently. The Vikings are 6-1. The Packers are 3-5. The Bears are 3-5, and the Lions are 1-6. And the one win they got was probably because of T.J. Hawkinson, who is now on our team.
He helped beat our squad. I got to be honest.
All right, so let's get to the Week 9 previews for the Vikings. We got the Washington Commanders. The Vikings lead the all-time series. Thanks for catching me on that, Cap. The Vikings lead the all-time series 14-13, and we're going up against a former backup quarterback for us. Who I think he had a cup of coffee as a starter, maybe one or game. Or so. You like when I say cup of coffee?
That's funny.
The QB Taylor Heineke, who's actually played pretty good.
He sure has.
So let's hope we can contain him and continue our winning streak and get to 7-1. So Cap, let's hear your thoughts on what the Seahawks will do in Week 9.
Well, people might look at the records because we are now 5-3. The Arizona Cardinals, our next opponent, are 3-6, thinking, Seattle's going to go in there and smash them. It's not how it works in the NFL, and it's definitely not how it works in the conference game. So what do we have to do? We have to bear down. And I'm not talking about the way the Chicago Bears do it. I'm talking Emerald Nation style. Focus on your opponent, study your film, get in the weight room, eat right, stay out of trouble, stay focused, get hydrated the night before the game, and then try to destroy your opponent every single time you play, every play. That's what we have to do. Our same success. Defense needs to keep doing what you're doing. Uchenna Nwosu, I'm so glad you're a Seahawk. I do not know what the Chargers were thinking when they let you go, but we are all glad to have you in Emerald Nation. Keep doing what you do because everybody feeds off of it. Offensive line, and Austin Blythe, our center. I hope you're okay. If not, Darren Fuller did come in and hold it down, but I like to see we don't want that position to become a weakness at all because everybody else is kind of hitting on all cylinders. Keep healthy. Special teams coach Izzo, I see you. Everybody hit on all cylinders, and I don't think there's a team in the league that can beat us.
Awesome. Of course you don't.
That didn't shock you?
No.
Hey,
Can the Buffalo Bills beat you?
When, this year?
Yeah.
If we see them, we'll deal with them.
Can they beat you?
Anybody can do anything. But I'll tell you what I think we need to get done on game day.
By the way, you said you had a rebuff. You want me to trade you Myers?
For who? Who's your kicker?
Myers from Seattle.
You don't like him? What's wrong with him?
No, I'm surprised he's not on your team.
You want to trade for him?
No, I'll trade you to him. I'll trade you kicker for kicker.
Let's do it.
Kicker for kicker?
Yeah, I'll take him.
You'll take him?
100%. He wasn't available when I was trying to get him back in the
He
day.
was a free agent.
Yeah, was he?
Yes.
He was on the chopping block?
No, he was on
somebody
the
get him?
waiver wire.
Nobody got him and put him out there?
No, I'm surprised he wasn't on yours or Socrates' team.
Because he's giving you 10, 12 points a game, but I'll take him.
Okay. We'll set
You
that
heard
up.
it. The trade it's a done deal, right?
Who's your kicker?
Does it matter?
Yes.
He's a Seahawk. Why did you want a Seahawk on your squad?
Because I like to win.
Top Gun, didn't he say he was going to do the deal? Didn't he present the deal to me?
I resent it.
It's going down. I'll do the paperwork tonight. I got the kicker from Cincinnati.
Oh, God, he was awful last night. I'm
Just
not
one
trading for
night.
him.
Just one night.
No, God. No.
You just reneged on me?
Yeah, did you watch the game last
wow.
night?
You know what? Now, I can't wait till we get to the fantasy segment now.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait till we get to the fantasy
I
segment.
didn't realize you had such a lousy kicker.
That's okay. Let's see.
You
how
told me you're.
Let's see how he did on
So
Sunday.
that's even more disrespect for Myers that you didn't take him as a free
Let's
agent.
see how we do.
Yeah,
Let's
Cincinnati
talk some
kicker.
fantasy football soon. See how that worked
I
out.
can't ever get anything with you. I try and get.
You said you would come through though. Now don't let our fan base is starting to grow. They're gonna put some pressure on you.
Pressure if you had a real kicker. You got this guy who missed an extra point and a field goal and bounced it off the
I have a
upright.
kicker, and I can get if you giving up Jason Myers. Let's go.
You thought he was the best.
Who?
Your kicker.
I said I have a kicker, and we're doing just fine.
But you wouldn't say he was better or worse
Why
than
would
your
I?
kicker.
Why do I need to categorize that man? He's on the squad. Once you come into the squad, we got you.
But you left the Seahawks kicker just wavering out there. He had no home.
You know what?
He had nowhere to go. He needed to eat.
You know what?
He needed some water, and you just left him out there.
Like he's a prisoner or something. What you doing?
He was on the waiver wire. You left him out
Hey,
there, and
you know what?
he kept calling
I'm
me
glad
saying
you picked
he
him
kept
up.
calling me. He goes, I thought the Cap was a Seahawks
This
fan.
man, he didn't help you last week win, but he helped you
I thought
many
he-
weeks this year
I
win.
thought he was a Seahawks.
It's out there. If you want to let him go, let me know. Let's do it. We'll take that
All right,
man and
before
bring
we
it back
get to
to
the
where he
rest of the
belongs.
picks, before we get to the rest of the picks and a little fun, let's see what happened last week. The real deal, 9-6, and the Cap was 11-4. So the Cap picked up 2 games this week, and now he's gotten to within 1 game. Yearly totals, the real deal, 78-44-1. The Cap 77-45-1. You have tightened it up in the past 3 weeks.
I'm just trying to do what I can.
You are right there. All right, so let's get to the picks music. Let's get.
Yo, it's time for the picks, the weekly predictions by them guys. Get your notebooks out because they rarely miss. Make way for Captain Book when he makes his picks. You can't touch this dude. Reppin' Hawks in the Emerald Nation. All units, battle stations. So welcome to the battle zone. It's a place where Captain Book is never alone. With his guide, he goes by his side. Sporting purple, always ready to ride. A real Viking maniac. Never afraid to go on the attack. And when needed and comes the real deal, he's got a real feel for NFL skill. So listen close and get the word. Don't be the one who hadn't heard about Captain Book and Blue Gold. Dropping knowledge, truth be told. The picks. Battle tested. Let's go.
Oh, we got Ric Flair back. We got the Slim Jim.
Let's do it.
We got him in the house. We left the wrestlers aside for a little bit. They're back. Ric Flair. Yeah, let's go. All right, week 9 predictions.
Drinking all that gravel.
We got the Eagles
Let's do it.
at the Texans. The Eagles fly by 27-13.
Even on the road?
Heck yeah. Fly in and take prisoners.
No hesitation. I got Philly 30, Houston 15.
15. That's
Thursday night.
5 field goals for the Texans. All right, let's get to the Buffalo Bills at the Jets. Lost their rookie running back. That was a big hit because put the pressure on the quarterback. He did not respond. I got the Bills winning on the road 31-20.
I have the Buffalo Bills also getting it done on the road 28-20.
28-20. All right. Chargers at the Falcons. The Falcons are leading their division. Who would have thought that?
They're balling.
Chargers, though, come in, they win on the road 34-23.
Yeah, I got the LA Chargers getting it done. That's a really good football team. We saw them up close. Big, high voltage. Going to get it done 21-17 over Atlanta.
Okay, let's move on to the Panthers at the Bengals. The Bengals looked awful last
They
night.
did. They
But you know
did.
what? They're at home. I think they're going to rebound 27-16.
I also agree with you. I think the Cincinnati is going to hold serve at home 24-21. Carolina's looking really good, though. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah, after dumping players, they're looking good. All right. Miami swims up to Chicago. And they swim past the Bears with their new addition, Bradley Chubb, at the deadline, 24-17. Even though the Bears picked up Chase Claypool
They did.
at the last minute.
Yeah, I see Miami also getting this done 31-20 over the Bears. Miami looks like they're on a weird mission right now.
Weird.
Not sure how far it's going to go, but they are buying in right now.
All right. We got the Colts who went to a rookie quarterback, and they fired their offensive coordinator. They're traveling to New England. I don't know. Frank Reich, he fired his offensive coordinator, so he wouldn't be on the hot seat. I think I got, and the Pats, they handled the Jets. I think the Pats, they win at home 23-16.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a shocker here. I think the Colts are going to pull it out 24-20 in New England. No one's going to expect this.
Wow. All right. Chance for me to get a game back. All right. Or you to gain one. Tie it up.
We'll see what happens with this next game.
All right. Vikings at the Commanders. The Vikings with their new addition, TJ Hawkinson, who will score at least one touchdown.
Oh.
At least one.
Out on a limb. At least one.
Give Wilson and B. Gold a breather on the couch. 27-16.
That would be a breather if you can get that done. But I do also see the Vikings getting it done. They look good. They came out healthy. I didn't hear of any crazy injury reports. They should be able to beat the Washington Commanders 34-17, even though it's on the road.
34-17. All right. We got the Raiders, who got 0 points. Hey, Frank. Your team got 0 points.
They got blanked.
Raiders visiting the Jaguars, who are
hot and cold.
Yeah, no, but I mean, and they picked up somebody at the deadline too. Yeah. Actually, no, it's for next year. They picked up Calvin Ridley, but he's
still suspended.
He's suspended for the rest of the year. So I got the Jaguars winning 23-16.
Wow, close to my score. I have the Jaguars winning also 24-17.
24-17. All right, let's move on to the Packers at the Lions. The Lions just got rid of one of their best weapons. I was going to pick the Packers anyway. I'm going to change the score. It was 27-24. Now I got the Packers winning 27-20.
I have the Packers winning a close game. I'm not impressed with them right now, but I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to lose this. 17-16.
Okay.
Detroit loses. Green Bay wins.
We got the Seahawks at the Cardinals.
How bad will we get beat this week, Big O?
No, didn't you guys beat them in your home turf already?
We did.
All right, so you're not getting beat bad at all. I actually think you have a chance to win. I just think the Cardinals are desperate. If they don't win now, they're out because they're last in the division.
That's true right now.
Last in the division, they're desperate. I think these teams are pretty even.
You do?
Yeah, depending on where you play.
Okay.
I mean, I think Kyler Murray, if you can contain him, can be, and he makes mistakes, but Hopkins is a beast. Not saying he's going to be the difference.
Is legit.
I'm picking 30-29 Cardinals.
Cool. It's locked in. I already spoke about what I think we need to get done and how I believe we're going to get things done, so I'll just give you the score. Seattle Seahawks 34, Arizona Cardinals 10. It's funny. It's funny.
It's funny.
Good. That's good.
It's funny.
All right.
I'll bet you a lunch that the Cardinals can more than 10 points. You got that?
What are we doing tomorrow?
Yeah, but I'm paying for that.
Oh, okay. Now, what's the deal? The lunch for what? Kyler to do what?
No, that the Cardinals are going to score 10 points. They're going to score.
Oh, no, I'm not going to take that bet.
Hey, we got some reality.
Yeah, I ain't
reality
gonna take that
TV.
bet.
We just got it. Reality TV.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on.
Hey, Emerald Nation. He's not sticking to his game.
I'm straight.
No, you're straight.
Good to go.
I'm joking. I like to eat, dude.
I know.
We were going to Roots Chris if they were going to take 10 points.
Everybody know their food is good.
We got the Rams at the Buccaneers. This is a tough game to call because they're both kind of desperate right now. They're both kind of desperate. They are, but I think Father Time is gonna put the final nail in Brady's coffin. I got the Rams winning the close one, 24-23.
You see the Father Time target getting 23 points against the Rams team?
Well, because they're home. That's the only reason.
It's not gonna matter. I don't think it's gonna matter, but I see the Los Angeles Rams winning 24-3 over Tampa Bay.
Wow, Father Time has creeped up on Brady faster from you than
creeping.
me.
I think he's running.
All right, we got the Titans at the Chiefs. The Titans, I looked at their record. They're 5-2, and you would never know. They kind of sneak up on you with this record. I like their coach. I don't know how they're 5-2, but they just kind of sneak in there and get it done. Tannehill, he's okay, but he's not great. That Malik Willis threw 13 passes this week. I don't know how they do it, but they ain't doing it this week. I got the Chiefs winning at home 23-20. It's going to be closer than people think.
I got this being a shootout because it's prime time, 8 p.m. I see the Chiefs sneaking it out of there, 41-38 with a whole bunch of highlights.
38 to what? 28?
41-38, Kansas City.
41-38.
In this game right here, this is a tough one.
This next one's a good one. We got the Ravens at the Saints. The Saints shut out the Raiders before I picked this game. So I don't know. They're like a Jekyll and Hyde squad.
True.
They're like a Jekyll and the Ravens. Ravens roll 31-20.
I'm going with the fam. I'm going with the Crescent City. I'm going with the boot. New Orleans is going to find a way to get this done. It's going to be close, but I got New Orleans getting it done 31-30 over Baltimore.
31-30?
That's correct.
Oh, that's close.
It is.
All right. Let's get to the fantasy football segment.
Let's go.
Fantasy football talk to see which teams can walk the walk. Each week, new matchups take place. All teams gunning for first place. Set your lineups, hope for the best. Your team might be good, but mine's the best. Make trades along the way. Ain't gonna help you, you might wanna pray. To be the best, you gotta beat the deal. Lots of luck, cause my team's for real. Let's get to the segment, start the chat. Hey, Book! What you say about that?
It's Captain Boot, and I'm running on the field like a wild one. Dropping fantasy strategy second to none. I'm casting spells like a mad magician. I make so many damn moves, just like a mathematician. Without my fantasy logic, you'll just be hoping and wishing. And if you don't pay attention, your team will need a mortician. So check out Captain Boot and how I laid out my roster. I'm so dialed in, could never be an imposter. With this fantasy ball, this segment's for y'all. So get in the game and join the fantasy brawl. It's Captain Boot and Beast Gold, so avoid the wreck. For your fantasy success, put our knowledge on deck. It's the fantasy segment. Get in.
It's the fantasy football segment.
What's up? Let's go.
All right. The real deal was defeated by Cap's team, the Emerald Nation Monster.
To be the best, you gotta beat the deal.
Right. It came back to Monday night.
It was a nail biter.
It was a nail biter. 136-130. Real deal dropped to 3-5. He's on the brink of elimination.
Emerald Nation Monsterizers Monsterize on.
Right, and they improved to 5-3, and they now have an 80% chance of making the playoffs.
Still early.
Seattle Socrates was outgunned by Top Gun.
Oh, wow.
107-92. Seattle, what you say about that? Seattle Socrates next faces off against the Crimson Knights.
Oh, Tyquavius, you gonna be ready?
In a must-win situation. Seattle, put up or shut up, or you're out, baby.
They're both 3-5. It's a make-or-break game.
Well, a Connecticut Al Grappador goes up against Cap's team, the Emerald Nation Monsterizers.
Here we go.
And I gotta say, I'm rooting for the Cap.
Really? Because he's in your conference.
Because he's in my conference. The New Haven Mackerels, Naturals, they were stunned.
Shout out.
They were stunned by the 1-6 Ohio Ball
Shout
Crushers.
out to the Ohio Ball Crushers.
126-122.
They stepped their game up. They got the call. We called them out. They woke up, got their work done.
This clown said he was going to go undefeated.
He did?
He did.
Come on. He did not say that. In our league?
In our league.
Does he know what league this is?
Exactly.
This is
now he's lost 2 straight.
We break eggs in this league.
And you know what? Next week he has another tough matchup.
Who's he got?
He's got Access Lord. They're 5-3.
Access Lords don't say nothing, but they get work done.
Exactly. So
They're balling.
you know, all of a sudden, He ain't answering phone calls.
What they call it in the West, when the tables turn on you. You got to watch yourself.
All right.
It's all fun.
G-Hockey crushed the Game Hunters 140-90. Next up for G-Hockey are the Connecticut Wagon Circlers.
Oh, that's going to be a good one.
No, it's not. Connecticut Wagon Circlers. They're circling to get out of town.
They're circling the wagons.
Exactly. Crimson Knights.
Gosh.
Crimson Knights were smoked by Smells Was Cooking. 175 to 118.
Smells Was Cooking. That's the high score of the season so far, I think.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Smells Was Cooking now has the best record in the league.
He's balling. I see you out there.
Exactly. But do you know who the only loss for Smells Was Cooking is against?
Let me guess. Could it possibly be the real deal?
Of course it is.
How did I guess that?
Exactly. So
Hey, Connecticut Wagon Circlers, I think they want to move that quarterback out of that starting spot, don't you?
Yeah. You want to move 7 out of their 8 players out of the lineup.
No, keep Devontae in there. And keep Tannehill in, bro.
Smell What's Cooking. His next opponent is the Game Hunters. Bye weeks continue. I got another 4 guys off this week. I should never have any guys off that ever again. So that concludes our recap of the fantasy football.
It's B Gold, back on the mic, dropping lyrics I know you'll like. The league is now on alert. The real deal is bringing the hurt. New challengers every season. Why worry? There is no reason. Teams might win some games. At the end of the day, I forget their name. A new season and more pretenders. New Haven Natural is the lead offender. Like all the others who come to town, this dude is just another clown. Over the years, I put to rest any questions that I'm the best.
Whose team is the best? I'm Captain Vuk, and I'm the coach. And on the fantasy field, we'll never choke. You keep playing with our record, and you'll be broke. So be a good dude and not a broke. And here's a note to the New Haven Mackerels. We're gonna put an end to your naturals. Undefeated teams brace. You're dealing with the Captain Vuk. This is my place. What up? Step on back. G Gold. Cut no slack.
On the attack. It's the podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. It's a podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. Normally I'm bound on the wheels of steel, but the time has come to drop the field. B Gold is a name that I spin under, but the real deal's a guy who brings the thunder. Back in the day, it was 5 minutes of funk. The deal's on the mic, he ain't no punk. It's cool when I see you freak to the beat. As Eric Beek stated, don't sweat the technique. My lyrics will stand the test of time. Working the crowd with my rhyme. Now it's time to get to the show. Bringing the info so you know it's a podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. It's a podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. If you want history, check 1 and 2. All the episodes have something new. From the front to the back or the bottom to the top. The episodes deliver from the knowledge we drop. The cap is the rhyme and I am the rhythm. Like the defense, we are gonna hit them. With the fun facts and the skull jam. The real deal will continue to rant. Cap brings Hawks news to the show. Never losing sight, keeping the flow. The blue and the emerald green. Cat will tell you who's on the scene. Delivering hits on game day. The bam bam moment for today. It's the podcast built to last. The podcast, we're having a blast. Another episode is in the books. Keeping it real with the hooks. Tune in again later next week to hear more from the streets. Bringing the news for our teams. Nothing's off limit, so it seems. Thanks for hanging, checking us out. We'll be back, there is no doubt.
Wow.
Another one wrapped up, brother.
Another episode wrapped up. By the way, just a shout out to everybody. Next week, we are on a bye week. We have some things we need to take care of. We do need to clean up a couple things that we've kind of just freestyled that Top Gun will be working on to get them, solid.
It's called polish.
Yeah, polished, solid, polished. But thanks for tuning in today for the recaps and our previews. Tell your friends, families, and coworkers about the show. The subscribership is moving up. Continue to get the word out there. It's very fun. We had Seattle Socrates on last week. We'll continue to get some of our listeners on there if they choose to
jump in,
come into the zone here. Let's see what the new addition TJ Hawkinson brings. Let's get a couple wins for both of our squads this week. The show's much more fun, at least for the Cap when he wins.
That's the truth.
But
true.
For me, it could be if we win, I'm positive. If we lose, I'm just ready to
get to the next opponent.
Fire cut and do whatever. Yeah, fire cut, whatever we got to do. But anyway, great show today. Cap, it was another fantastic voyage as we keep on keeping on, as you always do. Bring us home.
Well, welcome back to the Vikings and the rest of the Skull Nation. You had a chance to get healed up, rest up, came back, secured a win at home. Now you take your show on the road, but you're ready for it, right?
We are ready for it.
All right, so let's get it done.
We're going to command the Commanders.
Do what you got to do. Get that W. Stay healthy. So the Seattle Seahawks are still in first place in NFC West, and the Emerald Justice League has once again returned calm throughout the Western Seaboard after a very serious attack by the New York Football Giants. They now travel to Arizona to battle an old foe, another bird. What happens next? We will find out together. Until then, and as always, Emerald up. Skull on down the road, baby.
Peace.
Hawks.